YouTube, welcome back. We get the white pieces for today's video. We're going to play a little bit of e4. We get a bit of e5. Then we're going to go knight f3. Okay, knight c6. So this means we have like infinite options from here. Okay, we could go into a Scotch. We could go into an Italian, a Roy Lopez. I've been liking the Ponziani a lot recently. Maybe like a 4-knight. Let's go for a Ponziani. I've been loving the Ponzi. If you don't know what, you're just playing for d4. Okay, just huge center control. Okay, and they play knight f6. Let's go here. And now no matter which pawn they take, we're just going to push the other pawn. So they take on d4. So now we push this pawn. And then this knight probably comes in here. That seems to be like the most common line. And then I guess I can go here. I did actually have a game where we got like knight e4, bishop d3, takes, and takes. So they gave up the knight for like 3 pawns, which was very interesting because I did go on to win that game. So I'm not sure that was the play, but that's what happened. I didn't actually go back and evaluate that game, which is actually a big mistake given the fact that we could be looking at a very similar position. They could also go here, which they do. Okay, this is pretty common. And now we have 2 pieces hitting this, so now it's best just to take back. So this pawn is now reinforced. And if we play a move like this, they can't go back here, they can't take, can't go here, can't go here, can't go here. So the only move is to come back to this square on h6. And there are lines where you take, and it's uncomfortable for black with the ruined pawn structure on the king side. It's not what you want. But we shall see what happens here. Okay, so they played d5, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, en passant is a legal mandate. If I don't play it, I can't play it though, it just doesn't make sense to play en passant, but it's a legal mandate. Oh, I am a man of culture, guys, I swear, but I can't play en passant here. Like, I can't allow this. I cannot allow that. I'm sorry. I simply just cannot allow it. I'm going to play h3. Knight will go here. I could take, but I don't know if I want to get into like opposite side castling wars here. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. Oh, I know I should have taken en passant there, but I didn't have the heart to do it, guys. I didn't have the heart to do it. I'm sorry. I've let the team down. I know I have. Yeah, so you should be looking at knight h6, bishop takes on h6, pawn takes on h6, and then I guess just like bishop b5. So it would look something like this, this, and then I could go like bishop b5. I could just develop my knight. I can't draw arrows very clearly. If you take here, then I take. Okay, yes. Now we take. You take back. Kind of like the idea of just developing my knight. I'm not really sure where I want to put this bishop yet, so I'm going to develop the knight. And then we'll look to get the bishop out, get castled, rook e1. I don't know, like bring the queen over, bring the rooks to the middle. And we will go from there. They might play like bishop here and then queen behind, looking for like some sort of Greek gift later on. Okay, hello. Hello. Maybe I just trade bishops then. Just because I don't want any shenanigans in this game, okay? We have a really dominating centre. We're ahead in development. If we can just trade off, get king safety, we should be good. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, we should definitely be winning this game. I mean, just look at our position. Okay, so they attack my queen, and the trick here is to give this check, because then they can't play here forking my pieces. And they just have to go back here, and then I win this pawn. So that looks pretty enticing. Give this check. Knight has to go back. Win this pawn, but then they play here, so... is it actually worth it? I'm not actually sure now. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea. I can definitely win this pawn. It's just how do I really want to be taking? Take with the queen, that's pretty forcing. And then we get into like a line like this. And then I'm threatening here. I'm going to take with the queen, yeah. It looks very forcing. Looks very forcing. And they can't really afford to not have queens on the board because just look at their development. Look at the position. This is like Not what you want to be doing if you're black. Okay, they slide the queen over. That makes a lot of sense. Now castling just looks very strong. Yeah, because if they go here, I have this stopping this fork. So let's just get castled. And it's not even a fork anymore because I've castled, so we have nothing to worry about. If they go here, don't know, just give this check again. That would feel a little bit mean. Okay, so they move the rook over. Okie dokie. So probably just here, right? And then just look to push this pawn. Because if you take, I take. It's not looking too good for you. Let's just drop back here. And then push the pawn. We've got to be pushing these pawns. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think this is fine, because after you take, I can take here. Yeah, let's take here. We're threatening this pawn. We're threatening to give this check. We're threatening to push this pawn. There's a lot going on right now, guys. There's a lot going on. Yeah, probably best to give this check. I don't know. Well, now you're threatening mate, and that's very scary. Well, you're not actually because of this. So I can probably just push this pawn. So I'm going to push. And I really hope you forget that my queen can move backwards. That would be very nice. I'd be a very happy man, I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie to you guys. I just need to remember to keep my queen on this diagonal. But I am quite forgetful. But this is looking pretty crushing now, I think. I'm not sure, though. I always miss something. What? Well, I can give this check. This is your only move, and then... Or well, it's not your only move, actually. Is it? You can go this way. So I give this check. You go here. I don't know. This just looks so bad for you. Then have I got this check? And you have to go here. I don't know. This doesn't look good for you. Can I just centralise my rook? Just go centralise my rook. There's still no mate. There's still no mate, which is important. Obviously. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now there is mate. There is absolutely mate on the board now. You couldn't move your rook from this d-file, sir. I obviously can't take this rook because that would hang this. But if I give this check, this is your only move. And then if I go here... Well, you guys know the rest, okay? You guys know the rest. There's actually a number of ways we could give mate here, I feel like. We can give this check, definitely. And when you go here, this rook is in fact... yes, checkmate. Had to think about it, then I was like, oh wait, no, because then you take the pawn. But luckily, this pawn has a friend in my e1 rook. So we're all okay on that front. My opponent is just going to work out that they are absolutely unequivocally dead. Which is a real shame. It's been a stupendous game, but this is why I love the Ponziani, guys. This is why I love the Ponziani. Look at that. Checkmate on the board. Let's jump straight into a game review. Okay, guys, so according to the eval, I played at 1800. Not that that means a single thing. So yeah, we get into a Ponziani game with d4. They then take this pawn, and so I have to play this move e5. If I was to just take back, for example, well, then they would just take this pawn, and I'd just be down a pawn the whole game. It's not ideal. You might be thinking, oh, just queen e2. But then they have moves like d5 reinforcing them, so I can't really, you get what I'm saying, don't you? So e5 is the only move. Knight, this is a mistake. After I take back, I just have a gorgeous looking center. In that position, where are you meant to actually play? Like knight d5, mate? Yeah, knight d5 is the best move. And then in this case, I still take, have a gorgeous looking center, but it's not as bad. But they play here, I take, and then they play d5. And the reason I can't play en passant, guys, well, that would just not be good, because then you just get this ultra quick development, and I'm just solving all your problems for you. I no longer have this gorgeous looking center. I have an isolated pawn, you have quicker development. So yes, I'm a man of culture, but en passant, simply losing there, guys. H3, it wanted bishop b5, but this is still a good move, just kicking the knight away. Takes and takes, and as you can see, the eval bar, we're just +1. Knight c3, just continue my development. Bishop f5, and then I look for a bishop trade because I didn't want to get into any shenanigans of like going here, you going here, and then being able to sort of like, I don't know, sack this at some point. Like if I went here now, you can actually take on h3. And if I take back, as you can see, the eval bar is not a very happy bunny, because after takes, the only move in this position is knight e2. Look at that. Because then if you give this check, I can block with the knight. But you can see why this was very scary for me. So I obviously just decided to trade bishops. And it was actually very bad for them to take. As you can see, I'm now like +1.5 on the eval bar. If you give it time to load, it says I'll be +2. Knight b4, eval bar still creeping up. Queen b5 check, knight jumps back. And then, oh, it wanted me to take with this knight. Take with the knight, it says. Take with the knight. And then you play like bishop g7. And then I've got knight to b4 it wants. Just putting more pressure on this knight. So you'd have to reinforce it somehow. Would you play like this? Just looks so disgustingly wrong. Because here... No, not here. Sorry, that's very bad. Obviously, that's very, very bad. It wants you to take here. And then after like rook b8. Oh my god, I take here then. Oh my god. Just giving that away. Because of a8 check. Oh my god, look at this. And if you go here... I just pick up this pawn. Wow. Okay. That's very anticlimactic. But I took on d5 with the queen. Queen e7. Short castles. Rook slides over. Threatening some attacks here. It's a shame this queen for them wasn't like here. And it was protected. Because then you could just sack, obviously. And this pawn's pinned by this rook. So there's long-term threats here. The game is not clear. Rook e1. Rook to d8. Attacking my queen. So obviously slide back. You take the pawn, I pick this up, then pick up this pawn. Queen g5, I'm just pushing this pawn. It wanted queen c6 check, but I'm thinking I just push this pawn. If you take, I thought I could just take here, no? Why is this not an option? Check. You obviously can't play mate right away because you have to move your king like this. And then, yeah, just double stack. You still can't play this, obviously, because then we get into like this. But yeah, they then play f6 after e6. I bring my rook to the centre, and they obviously play rook b4. Now, I thought if we got into this trade, it's still very, very scary for you. You sort of have to sack your queen, like this. That's the only way you survive, because if you don't do that, let's just say you play a move like... I actually have no idea. Let's go... I don't know. Let's just play a random move. Let's go here. Well, then we have mate in 2 with this, this, and this. It's just game. So yeah, that's very scary. Rook b4 obviously allowed checkmate. I found queen c8, king goes up, checkmate. And we also, I think we could have just played here as well. This is still checkmate. But guys, the Ponziani. I have a video on my channel. I'll link it down below to learning all lines in the Ponziani. Definitely check it out, especially if you're like an intermediate player, because people do not know the theory at all. They know nothing about it. There's tricks with like d6 where you can like win their queen early on as well. I teach all these lines in a separate video. Check it out. Leave a like on this one. Subscribe if you're new. See you on the next one. Goodbye.